I started with jumping right to the highlight of my years, camp, explaining the significance to me as a person, how it shaped me, defined me, made me who I am. The impact that camp had on me was unparalleled by any other in my life. While I didn't let Judaism control me, I allowed it to shape me, help me grow, adapt, morph, change to fit who I wanted to be, who I thought I was. The influence of others is strong, and through Nifty and camp I began to feel proud of myself, as though in my life I had found who I wanted to be. But the startling reality that sunk in after every event, every weekend spent visiting my friends, free time spent talking to them, I realized that life couldn't be as easy as Nifty made it seem, that the community couldn't always be so incredible. Being able to go up to a random person, hug them, and then realize you met your best friend in 5 minutes, it doesn't really happen anywhere else. The place that this was made most apparent to me was here, East Greenwich. One of those is not like the other. This became my way of looking at EGHS, realizing that who I wanted to be wasn't really like anything here. As much as everyone thinks they don't have pre-established groups, certain people like to hang out with certain others. They just do. At the beginning of the year, I tried to associate myself with a different group of kids than I had before, and it stuck for a little while, but then it got boring. I found myself missing the intellectual conversations I was able to participate in with my other friends. Unable to comprehend the stupidity of some of these new kids, I was filled with regret. Then I found Nifty, a place to be who I truly wanted to be, express who I was, and that I thought that would give me courage. It would give me the ability to act out, but it didn't. And I fell into the clutches of the idiots, and felt as though I was unable to show my face around my old friends. I had blown them off. Would they even accept me? If I sat down to talk to them, would there be whispers? People wondering what the hell I was doing over there? Thinking that I didn't belong there anymore? Well, at least in my mind, that's how it plays out. But maybe there are still good people. People who can accept you in. The first quarter ended with a decent class grade, an upsetting portfolio, and an unhappy me. I was unhappy for the reasons I said before, but also because of me. For years I had paraded around gloating in the fact that I was so smart, so superior to most other people because for me, with very little effort, came very good grades. The thought of all A's wasn't a thought beginning with I hope, rather I know. Those expectations brought a shock of realization. I needed to put in effort. I needed to show that I belonged, and I failed on that. Second quarter rolled around with new expectations. With a heart set on achieving honors English greatness, I was determined to do better. I got all of the essays ready to write, topics ready to go. But then I continued to watch my plan crash and burn as I once again failed to meet expectations, to achieve that greatness. Julius Caesar filled me with thoughts that I possessed superior analytical skills, and I found myself able to once again succeed in the unit without applying much effort, which didn't help me in the long run. My grades stayed the same, everything stayed the same. I hadn't grown or changed anything for myself. I was still me, still the same procrastinating kid who wanted to try and change but was so set in his ways that the changes only lasted as long as the person who had inspired them in the first place was looking. It's truly a horrible way to go through school, doing the work but not doing the work, mindlessly copying another's homework. The pattern was becoming set. I eventually failed to write the essays in a timely manner, leaving them to the few nights before it was due. This ended with me feeling bad about myself and my grade, despite the apparently easy fix. The pattern continued, on into the third quarter. I was still unable to complete my portfolio on a schedule. However, I was still attempting. During the third quarter, I enjoyed the poetry unit. It was a challenge for me to make my words sing, to have them be a musical, instead of just sentences, each slapped upon each other. I felt my writing style change in my poetry assignment. After feeling the sentences flow perfectly, the positive comments and affirmations made it seem as though my writing was truly improving. The slam poems, however, marked a dark time for me. I had plans for it, big plans. I had discussions about my topic, brainstormed for it. But once again, I let myself down and wrote it about 20 minutes before class. I didn't jump to it, take the advantage. I saw the 2 weeks as an unnecessarily long period of time and wasted the entirety of it. Next came the Iliad, a book that took way too long to read, was only partially interesting to me, and was a rather grueling, labor-intensive unit. Then the quarter ended just like the last two, with an acceptable grade, but even more disappointment in my lack of coordination and inability to sticking to a plan. But then the fourth quarter, a song of freedom, do whatever you want. I thought to myself at this point, okay, this could be interesting. I had a theme early. Life through the eyes of different people with different mental disabilities. Sick. Going to do 5 essays. Awesome. I'm going to get a really good grade. Can't wait. I'm sure you can guess what happened next. I'll give you a hint. It followed the preset trend line. The ending of the Iliad and the Odyssey and shift into existentialism was a good unit. The topic of existentialism itself was confusing to me early on, but the conversations that were brought to life because of it, they weren't. I found myself enjoying the unit and all it brought because I felt like I was able to express my true opinions. I enjoyed the majority of the fourth quarter as it wasn't so much work as to be overwhelming, yet enough to be extremely thought-provoking and mentally stimulating. The seemingly slowed momentum differed from all other classes as teachers who are unable to teach a curriculum in the time provided started to shove informations down our throats and make us miserable. We all know who I'm talking about. Fourth quarter was rough, but better than the last. As for my portfolio, not a total train wreck, but not top-notch. As I mentioned before, I had plans, I had ideas, but I let myself stray from the yellow brick road and eventually drift into the familiar land of procrastination. In whole, this year had its ups and downs. I realized that I need to apply effort to get results. Despite being told this for all my life, it had only set in that hard work pays off now. I am smart. Yeah, I'm sure of that. But just because that may be true does not mean I am so special that I don't have to put in the effort. I was happy to be able to understand a few concepts that were never obvious to me, and in all, it will prove to be a good experience for me. I learned that no matter what people's perceptions of you are, stay true and be yourself. Don't worry so much about the public's perception. That was something I struggled with the entire year. There were some points where that was made clear to me, but they faded in and out. I also realized recently that the goals I want to achieve are totally achievable. I can do it, anyone can do it. Work your ass off, and you will get there. I don't care if it sounds cliche. I don't care if anyone else says that. Don't ever think that you are too good to try, to show emotion, to do anything. Live the way you think you should, but always remember to appreciate what you have while it's here. I wish I knew that before now. I lost my grandmother to Alzheimer's in the 6th grade, and my cousin after a 12-year battle with ovarian cancer this year. And unfortunately, my uncle's on his way down as well with colon cancer, and soon he'll be gone. I didn't get to appreciate these people as much as I would have liked, as my grandma was diagnosed when I was 6, my cousin when I was 3, and my uncle only recently, but he's so far away that I don't know what will happen. Life is a roller coaster, yeah, but you have to be able to give and take, ride those ups and downs. When life is giving you shit, take it and throw it back in their face by proving them wrong. Don't let others' opinions of you get in the way of you achieving your goals. I was told earlier in March that I couldn't play lacrosse this season. I've been wearing a brace on my back now for close to 3 months. Yeah, it sucks, but the day my doctor told me I could do exercise, all at once I started to become active. My mood became better, and I was a happier person in general. The little things in life are important, and always appreciate them. And that is hard to do, given most of our backgrounds, but that's what will get you far, in my opinion. Disagree if you want, that's up to you. Choose to ignore me, that's up to you. Just think about it.